Well, hey guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something just to have a little fun, something I've wanted to do for a while, just hadn't brought myself to do it, so we're going to get into it today. We're going to take two of my saws. They are both bone stock, and we're going to run them against each other just to see the differences. Nothing scientific, not to say one's better than the other, just as a comparison. In corner number one, we have my Stihl ms500i Magnum factory dual port. Saw is bone stock, and as you can see, it's set up for milling. Doesn't even have a filling spike on it or anything. We probably will scrounge around and find a filling spike. I've got probably drawers full of those things laying here, but nonetheless, we'll get a filling spike on it. But these were rated, I think, at 6.1 horsepower. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I'm coming up with. 76.5 cc's, around 14.5 pounds on the power head. This one's a low hour saw, been ran very little. It's fell a little bit of small timber. It has also been used for milling, which is primarily what I used it for, but for the last couple of years it's kind of sat over there and collected dust. But as you can see, she cleaned up nice, and just like any other time I've brought this out, no, I have no intentions on selling it. I'm sorry for the bad news, but that one's not for sale. In corner number two, we have the elusive Stihl ms500i, the fuel injected saw of awesomeness. It really is. They're a pleasure to run. Even in stock form, they perform really well for what they are. I think they come in at 6.7 horsepower, which it has an advantage over the older ms46. Of course, it has EFI. It is rev limited, so you know we've got that. The ms46, I'm sure, still has the limiters on the carburetor, so technically it's limited to where it's going to rev to. But I think the power head weight's about the same, a little over 14 pounds. Price point of a good ms46, I have no idea. You might get lucky and pick one up for $100 bill. You may be silly and buy one off of eBay for like $1,200. Or you could go the route most people go, pick you up a Farmer Tech kit, get a decent top end on it and some other parts, and basically have yourself the same damn thing. We've built those here on the channel. 500i. Taxes, everything, I think the receipt on mine was $1,635. That is no joke. And I bet it has less than 2 hours of run time on it, if that. I think it's an R model, has the right handlebar, came with a 24-inch bar and chain set up. Bone stock has not been touched. We do have some simple bolt-on mods here to go on this saw, and that will be in a totally different video, but that's what we're going to be running. Stihl 24-inch RS chain, full comp, full chisel. I'm going to put a fresh sharpen on it, and we'll probably start off with the ms46 and go from there. Everything ain't been started probably a better part of 2 years, so let's hope everything is good to go. Oops, she may not run. Saw always runs. You do hear some people say negativity about the ms46s and 460s. I've only had the 460 in a kit saw. I've ran several OE 046s, including this one. We did do an OEM 044 to 046 conversion a few years back for one of our followers. That was a strong saw with the small port work. He was really happy with that. But this one's always ran strong, like really strong. I've had 044s here. I've got a nice ported 440. An OEM one. I've had the aftermarket ones. The 046 is just a stronger saw. I know they made versions of them that may have had a different air filter, and I mean this one's got the same HD setup like a 66 mag would have. I'm sure that helps out a lot. The factory dual port muffler, and there's no cage or baffle in that can, and doesn't look like there ever was. Saw has all the compression it ever would have had. Still has the factory elasto start. That one's always been a strong running saw, but we'll go back here to the log, about 18 inches in the biggest part across, so should be a pretty good test for it. We'll do straight down cut, and we'll make a few cuts on it just to fill the saw out. That saw almost runs like a ported saw. It just is very, very strong. Alright guys, again, I haven't been started in months, but let's hope it busts off and runs for, $1,600. All you have on these is a primer. It's actually a primer bulb. Pump some fuel, and you've got a kill switch, which is a little weird. There's no choke or anything. It's fuel injected. Let's see how many pulls. Well, I lost my glasses. That old 046 felt snappy, but come on guys, that 500, they kind of crazy for a bone stock saw, but the piece of wood will tell the tale, I guess. Same bar and chain, same wood. Within 10 minutes of time. Log does taper back a little bigger, but they probably ain't an inch or two of difference. It's not going to matter. We'll go back here and make us a handful of cuts, and we'll let the video tell the tale. Okay guys, we're getting close to that stand. I was all but in it on the last one. There's not, I don't know, 8 inches of that thing left or something. So let's just do one more just for the hell of it. Alrighty guys, it's time to wrap this one up. You know what they say, time flies when you're having fun. There's no winner here. Both of those saws are awesome. Speed, I'd say 500's got it. Those things scream. I don't know, the video will tell the tale. All out grunt, there ain't a lot of difference pulling up on the saw. I'd probably honestly lean more toward the 046, but then again, who knows? And I know people are going to say, well, the 500 has more horsepower. Guys, just take it from somebody that's raced everything in the world, been around dynos, had a lot of people that had dyno queens. Peak horsepower on a dyno means nothing, and dyno numbers can be manipulated. And those stock numbers that the dealers give out, I just wouldn't look at that garbage at all. You know, it is what it is. We running those two saws back to back, same bar and chain, same wood, within the same hour. There ain't a lot of damn difference between the two, but 500's a lot smoother, it's snappier. I'm sure it uses way less fuel, but as far as modifying the two saws, I'll guarantee you both saws ported for ported, that 046 is going to come back and stomp the shit out of that 500i. I know some of you guys have them, have ported them. I've seen very few 500s that were ported that I've actually commented on and said, hey, you figured that out, you've got it right. You know, Aaron Lynch, he's got them figured out. His 500s get with it. A lot of the ones I've seen done are just rich and blubbery, and you know, a lot of the times that's what you get when you modify stuff that's EFI without being able to go in and remap the ECU. That saw, it's a closed loop speed density setup on it, which means the parameters that are in that ECU are what's there. It's not going to self-tune or self-learn. There's no mass air meter or anything. You know, no onboard wideband O2 sensor. It just is what it is. If you do the wrong modifications to it, it ain't going to damn like it. It's like modifying some of the early or even some of the later EFI vehicles. You better have a buddy that has a laptop and some tuning software and knowledge, and I have done that before. Or you'd better have a local shop that can, you know, remap the ECU. But that 500, I'm pretty sure there's no one out there remapping the ECUs on those, but or module, whatever you want to call it. It's an engine control unit, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I hope I didn't go over anyone's head. I'm gonna say there's no winner here. I like them both. But with that said, thank you guys for watching. Everybody have a great day.